India's first conflict began when Britain first established the East Indian Trade Company back in 1612. This was done legally and with only commercial thoughts in mind, but later, as they discovered that India could bring them much wealth, they turned economical ideas into political ones. They finally decided to take over India by the mid-1700s because of its ideal trading location, and by the 1800s, India was completely taken over by Britain. Part of the reason they succeeded was because India was struggling to keep a stable government. To make matters worse, India at that time was home to large and diverse groups of people, of which every group knew a different language, and because of this, they couldn't unite to prevent Britain from taking over. Once Britain had complete control, they influenced everything they did in positive and negative ways. Britain introduced Western education, which was far more advanced than what India had at that time. They also introduced medical advances and new farming methods. They were also able to abolish slavery and gave everyone a fair trial, which was something that India lacked during that time. Some negative effects, however, were that Britain also got rid of many Indian traditions that people had during that time and were so accustomed to doing. But despite the positive effects, India still didn't like Britain and decided to rebel because they wanted their independence. One of its first and most popular rebellions was the Sepoy Rebellion, which was the beginning of its fight for independence.
As Indian forces continued to rebel in an attempt to drive British forces out of India, Britain began to give in to India's pursuit of independence by granting them access to a provincial legislature all across India. This allowed India to have a small amount of power while under British rule. In addition, a radical independence movement is started by Mohandas Gandhi in the late 1930s. The main goal of this movement was for India to gain independence through non-violence and passive uncooperation with the government. Finally, in August of 1947, Britain withdraws from India and two new independent countries are formed, India and Pakistan. The new India consisted mainly of two religions, Sikhs and Hindus, while Pakistan consisted mainly of Muslims. These three religions used to live together in harmony while under British rule, but tensions between them began to arise when they were separated upon gaining independence.
Kashmir is an area of disputed territory that borders India, Pakistan, China, and Afghanistan. It's mainly populated by Hindus, Sikhs, and Muslims. India and Pakistan are in violent dispute over who controls Kashmir. Fighting over Kashmir. Why Kashmir is being fought over is because when the British left India, they separated India into two countries, which were Pakistan and India. Kashmir was free to choose who it should join sides with. Kashmir was bountiful in crops such as rice and many other grains and vegetables. Fabrics such as wool, silk, and saffron were also plentiful. Many mines in Kashmir were also dug up that contain large deposits of gold and diamonds. Kashmir's many rivers act as valuable trade routes and water sources. So whoever opens a country there, let's say, will have easy access to trade and many goods. How it is being fought over. Great amount of tensions are between India and Pakistan that can lead to possible war. Threats of military invasion and nuclear war have been made by India already. Efforts to end the struggle. Leaders of the world and the United Nations are urging Pakistan and India to cease the dispute. Both countries have agreed to work together to improve each other's economy. Pakistani President Pervez Musharraf has offered to give up Pakistan's claim on Kashmir if India agrees to the peace treaty.